Chapter 1145. They naturally started talking about films at the dinner table. Liang Meixian placated the two elders with a proud expression from start to finish. Every film Emperor Sky Entertainment invested in was a big hit. Also, Emperor Sky dominated a majority of the most probable and hottest winners of the Golden Orchids. Dad, Mom, don't be worried at all. Emperor Sky will become better and better in Yi and Shaoen's hands. When Yi Hongwei and Tan Elon heard that, they looked very happy. Mom, stop praising me. I still have many things to learn from Grandpa. Yi said a few more humble sentences before turning to look at Yi Mufan. She asked amiably, Mufan, I heard the box office performance for your film wasn't too great? We're family, so let me know if you need any help. Liang Meixian sneered. Don't bother. They don't care about the box office. Both of their male leads are finalists for the Golden Orchid Awards. As long as one of them wins, their earnings will grow exponentially. When Yi Hongwei heard that, he pensively said, I saw the finalists for this year's Golden Orchid Awards. The other films are from famous directors, so competition is fierce. I'm afraid the chances of winning aren't huge, but it's already great that you made it to the finals. Keep working hard. Although Yi Hongwei didn't say much and merely said a few words of encouragement, his disappointment was unavoidable. He was well aware that Yi Mufan's little company wouldn't survive for long if this film couldn't obtain a proper amount of profit. In comparison to Yi, these two other children were still too inferior. Yi Mufan nodded. Yes, Grandpa, I'll do my best. After eating dinner, Yi Mufan and Yi Wanwan left the old residence together. Suddenly, Yi Wanwan's phone started ringing. It was Jiang Yanran calling. Yi Wanwan picked up the call and promptly congratulated with a smile. Hey, Yanran, congratulations. Wanwan, why couldn't I reach you earlier? Jiang Yanran complained. Sorry. I was in the mountains these past 2 days, so the signal wasn't too great. I just flew back today and have been busy until now. Jiang Yanran didn't truly mind, so she asked excitedly, Wanwan, did you see yet? I made it to the finals. I'm a candidate for the Golden Orchid Awards Best Actress. Yes, I saw. You're awesome. I was going to call you when I got home. Yi Wanwan was thankfully cautious earlier, so no one knew Jiang Yanran belonged to her. Hence, Jiang Yanran's journey was very successful from shooting to promotion. The film's box office performance and reputation were also quite good, and the film was one of the hottest contenders for an award. I'm glad I didn't disappoint you. It's just that the competition is too intense. I'm not sure if I'll win. This is your first film, so it's already great that you made it to the finals. This is a very good starting point, Yi Wanwan said with encouragement. Jiang Yanran asked nervously, Wanwan, you'll come to the award ceremony, right? Oh, right, Gong Su and Luo Chen also made it to the finals, so you'll definitely attend. I will. I'm going. Only then did Jiang Yanran relax. That's good. I won't feel scared with you there. This is my first time attending this kind of event, after all. Yi Wanwan chatted with Jiang Yanran for a while and told her some things to pay attention to before hanging up. After Yi Wanwan hung up the phone, she turned to look at the fretting Yi Mufan. Enough, don't look so awful. Yanran is also a nominee. 3 of our people made it to the finals. Based on the probability, our chances of winning an award are large. If our luck is good, perhaps we can even monopolize both Best Actress and Best Actor. Then you can lord it over Liang Meixian and the others. Chapter 1146. 1146 Monopolize both Best Actor and Best Actress? Yi Mufan burst out laughing. I really need to thank you for comforting me like that. That's not luck anymore. It's heaven-defying at that point, isn't it? Next week was the award ceremony for the Golden Orchid Awards. Age of the Immortal's fate would be determined that day. A few days later, today was Si Yihin's regular checkup day, so Yi Wanwan left the remaining jobs to Yao Jiawen and accompanied Si Yihin to Dr. Sun's for a checkup. The checkup took more than 2 hours before it finally finished. When Yi Wanwan saw Si Yihin and Dr. Sun exiting the room, she immediately went up and asked, How is he? Si Yihin's eyes turned warm when he saw her anxious and concerned expression. He reached out to gently embrace her. I'm fine. Yi Wanwan glanced at Sun Baichao. Dr. Sun, is he really fine? He started burying himself in work again lately. He even stayed up late behind my back a few times. Si Yihan looked exasperated as he listened to Yi Wanwan's tattling. Sun Baichao looked at the couple with a big grin and said, "Don't worry, Miss Yi. Mr. C is recovering very nicely. Today's acupuncture was the final course in the treatment. As long as he is careful about his health from now on, there shouldn't be any major problems." Si Yihan said, "I already said I was fine. I know my limits." Only then did Yi Wanwan relax. "Dr. Sun, thank you. Thank you so much. Is there anything else we need to be aware of?" As Yi Wanwan spoke, Si Yihan's phone rang. Si Yihan glanced at the phone screen and concealed the strange look in his eyes before saying with a normal expression, "I need to take a call." "Oh, okay." Yi Wanwan nodded before continuing her conversation with Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sun told her a few things to be mindful of in detail, and Yi Wanwan wrote them down seriously. By the time they finished speaking, Si Yihan still hadn't returned. Does a phone call take that long? At that moment, a clang was heard. It sounded like something had broken in the courtyard. Suspicion flitted through Yi Wanwan's eyes, and she hurriedly went to the rear courtyard to look for Si Yihan. From a distance, Yi Wanwan saw Si Yihan talking on the phone while standing under the eaves of the building. She was about to walk over but stopped when she got a clear look at Si Yihan. Si Yihan's current expression and aura were too terrifying. She had never seen him looking so frightening, even at the pinnacle of her fear of Si Yihan. Broken pieces from a shattered flower pot laid next to Si Yihan's feet. His entire body was enveloped by a terrifying dark fog without a ray of light shining through. He was abnormally violent and gloomy. "I do remember. I also remember you saying we weren't related at all." Yi Wanwan thought the faint words she was hearing to be quite odd. "Who's Si Yihan on the phone with? It doesn't sound like work-related matters." While Yi Wanwan deliberated over this, Si Yihan hung up. Only then did Yi Wanwan continue to walk over to Si Yihan. "Ajio, what happened? You don't look so good." Before Yi Wanwan could finish speaking, he suddenly pulled her into an embrace. Si Yihan's body was unusually icy. There was an intense and impregnable chilliness permeating through him, as though there was a giant black hole sucking all of his life and light. The strength of his hug nearly crushed her. Yi Wanwan frowned. She ignored the pain and reached out to pat Si Yihan's back in comfort. "What is it?" A moment later, Si Yihan's emotions seemed to have stabilized slightly, and he relaxed his hold on her a little bit. His voice was hoarse as he said, "Nothing. Just some clan matters." Chapter 1147. 1147. Although Si Yihan said that, Yi Wanwan instinctively felt like it wasn't that simple. Matters related to the clan shouldn't have provoked such a big reaction from Si Yihan, right? Even she wasn't capable of angering Si Yihan to this extent. Who was so impressive? "You're attending the Golden Orchid Awards ceremony tomorrow night?" Si Yihan asked. Yi Wanwan nodded. "That's right. There's still a banquet after the ceremony ends, so I'll probably be home late. Sleep early with Tang Tang." "Okay." Yi Wanwan sighed as she leaned against Si Yihan's shoulders. "Ah, tomorrow's the ceremony. I'm so nervous. Why don't you give me some loving encouragement?" "Don't drink." "Oh, how boring." The next day, Yi Mufan summoned everyone early in the morning and started styling them one by one. Yi Mufan rubbed his hands excitedly. "Even if we don't win any awards tonight, we're going to blind their lousy eyes." Gong Su's hair was bursting with tiny clips as he nodded vehemently in agreement. "That's right. We definitely have the highest aesthetic appeal out of all the companies there. We're the awesome and unrivaled heavenly group of breathtaking beauties." The corners of Yi Wanwan's lips twitched. What the hell was a heavenly group of breathtaking beauties? However, when she glanced at the average of their company's face score, she couldn't deny it. Especially after going through Yi Mufan's godlike craftsmanship and meticulous styling, their appearances were shining at their brightest. Yi Wanwan glanced at Han Xinyu, who had his makeup done already and was sitting on the sofa. As expected, "He's so handsome that he shines." Upon noticing Yi Wanwan's gaze, Han Xinyu sent her an inquiring look. "What is it?" Yi Wanwan waved her hand. Nothing, nothing. I was just nearly blinded by your handsomeness. Han Xinyu laughed out loud. You're also very handsome today. You're too polite. Yi Mufan, who was currently styling Gong Su, suddenly saw something and screamed, "Shit! Gong Su, are you a pervert? Why the hell did you bring female clothes here for no reason?" Gong Su instantly jumped up and nervously snatched the colorful bag from Yi Mufan's hands. Give it back, give it back. Don't touch it. I'm gonna kill you if you damage it." Yi Wanwan glanced at Gong Su. Female clothes? What's up with this guy now? Gong Su aggrievedly hugged the bag as he looked at Yi Wanwan and sighed deeply. Brother Yi, you were right before. If I knew today would come, why didn't I work harder back then? If I did, I wouldn't have watched helplessly as I passed by Brother Yi in female clothes. I'm drowning in regret. Yi Wanwan was rendered speechless. When did I say that? You can't just make things up randomly, alright? Moreover, shouldn't his focus be trying to see little candied plum? Why is he so hung up on making me wear female clothes now? Just how mischievous is this punk? Gong Su blinked and relentlessly looked at Yi Wanwan. A big grin spread across his face, his little canines faintly visible. Brother Yi, won't you consider wearing this? It's really pretty. Really, really. Yi Wanwan took out the dress Gong Su brought to look at it. Her face instantly darkened. What the hell is this? Oh dear God. It's actually a princess dress. There were at least several hundred sparkling little bows on it. What kind of magical taste is this? I'd rather die than wear this thing. She suddenly fearfully recalled how she dressed bizarrely back when she had a screw loose in her mind. Yi Wanwan tossed the dress back with a glowing expression. Keep it for yourself to wear. Chapter 1148. Yi Wanwan was sitting on the sofa with Han Xinyu while waiting for Gong Su and Luo Qin. Suddenly her phone rang. The caller ID indicated it was Su Yi. Why is Su Yi calling me at a time like this? Yi Wanwan suspiciously took out her phone and walked to the deserted hallway outside before taking the call. Hey, Steward Su? As soon Yi Wanwan accepted the call, Su Yi's extremely panicked voice came from the other end. Miss Wanwan, you had a fight with Ninth Master? Yi Wanwan was utterly confused. But we didn't. We're perfectly fine. Su Yi anxiously said, Impossible. Why is Ninth Master suddenly so violent then? Yi Wanwan was at a loss for words. Hey, just 'cause he's aggravated doesn't mean it's my fault, okay? Don't blame me for everything. Su Yi sounded like he was on the brink of tears. A clamor could be heard on the other end of the phone. Miss Wanwan. Anyways, you should come to the office and take a look. Please. There's really something wrong with Ninth Master's emotions today. Yi Wanwan's face looked serious when she heard that. Su Yi typically wouldn't call her out of the blue unless the situation was seriously urgent. Alright, I understand. I'll be there soon. After Yi Wanwan hung up, she returned to the dressing room and whispered next to Yi Mufan's ear, I'm taking off for a bit. I'll be back soon. Where are you going? Yi Mufan asked casually. My boyfriend's not feeling well. I'm going to check on him. Yi Mufan exploded as soon as he heard her answer. Shit. Today's such an important day. What's more important, your boyfriend or the award ceremony? Of course it's my boyfriend. Yi Wanwan comforted him. Brother, I'll come back soon. We still have plenty of time. Go on, go on. Yi Mufan mumbled unhappily. The C Corporation, Su Yi was already waiting at the front desk. As soon as he saw Yi Wanwan, he personally led her up the elevator designated for the chairman to the top floor. What in the world is going on? Yi Wanwan asked anxiously. Su Yi answered with an anguished expression, Miss Wanwan, how could I possibly know Ninth Master's thoughts? I should ask you instead, Yi Wanwan. The problem is that it really isn't my fault this time. He was perfectly fine when I left the house this morning. Although Yi Wanwan hadn't seen Si Yihan yet, she could tell that Su Yi's words weren't an exaggeration based on the low atmosphere of the office they passed by and the employees' pale and fearful expressions. The duo finally arrived in front of the chairman's office. Su Yi cautiously knocked before opening the door and entering. As soon as Yi Wanwan entered, She noticed that the office looked like a tornado had swept through it and was in an utterly disordered state. Behind the large desk, Seo-hin was wearing a black dress shirt and was casually leaning against a leather chair. He was propping his forehead up with his hand. There was a hopeless feeling of death and an aura of violent havoc that could destroy everything enveloping him from head to toe. Even Yi Wanwan felt a bit afraid, not to mention Su. Due to an instinctual fear of danger, she subconsciously wanted to flee. Su-yi stood by the door, not daring to breathe too loudly. Yi Wanwan hesitated for just a brief second before she walked toward him. Agio. After approaching him, Yi Wanwan realized that Seo-hin's face looked really awful, as though it was drained of all color. She merely hadn't seen him for a few hours. How did he end up like this? Chapter 1149. 1149. When Seo-hin heard her voice, his spine seemingly stiffened. Then he slowly looked up at Yi Wanwan. Come here. Seo-hin's eyes were like an icy pool of bottomless water as he stared at her unblinkingly. Yi Wanwan docilely walked behind the desk and touched Seo-hin's forehead with tightly furrowed brows. His temperature felt pretty normal. When Yi Wanwan appeared in his line of sight, Seo-hin acted like an irritated wild beast who finally saw its master and instantly retracted his ruthless and encroaching aura. Agio, do you feel unwell? Yi Wanwan asked. Seo-hin allowed her little hand to remain on his forehead and he wordlessly extended his arms, embracing her waist. After a period of silence, he said, I did it first. Yi Wanwan was startled. Did it first? Does he mean he doesn't anymore after I showed up? Seo-hin's labyrinth-style sweet-talking was online again. When Su-yi saw this from his hiding spot next to the door, he was rendered speechless, but he also breathed a sigh of relief. He knew it. No matter what happened, it could definitely be resolved by a visit from Miss Wanwan. Yi Wanwan allowed Seo-hin to hug her and she softly said, Are you too tired from being so busy the past 2 days? Do you need to sleep? I'll keep you company. Seo-hin looked extremely fatigued, but he motionlessly kept her in his arms. Don't you have to attend the award ceremony? Yi Wanwan blurted, The ceremony is nowhere near as important as you. Seo-hin was evidently pacified by her words and his gloomy expression eased up a lot. Go on. I'm fine, just a little tired. After Seo-hin said that, he sent Su-yi a warning look. When Yi Wanwan saw that, she immediately piped up, Don't glare at Su-yi. It was me who told Su-yi to report to me if anything happened, so you aren't allowed to blame him or punish him. Okay. Su-yi was spooked out of his mind from the glare, but he felt tears streaking down his face after hearing Yi Wanwan's words. The feeling of having the boss lady backing him up was great. He felt very safe. Seeing that the danger was temporarily gone, Su-yi quickly retreated quietly. Yi Wanwan was brimming with worry as she looked at the man in front of her. Why is Seo-hin's expression so unsteady? It's not like men have periods. However, he was situated in such a high position. Such a large clan and company relied on his sole support. He had no choice but to digest all of his emotions by himself, and the immense pressure was unavoidable. Are you really fine? Yi Wanwan worriedly asked. The only one who could make me not fine is you. What a pleasure. Then Yi Wanwan burrowed towards Seo-hin and sat on his lap. She slid her arms around his waist and said, Here, a hug for you. Recharge a little. Seo-hin chuckled lowly and tightened his arms around her. A moment later, he said, Go back. I'm fine. Yi Wanwan carefully assessed Seo-hin for a long time. When she saw that his expression had returned to normal, she relaxed slightly. Before I leave, I need some loving encouragement. I need genuine loving encouragement. Yi Wanwan requested. Seo-hin's large hand wrapped around the back of her head lightly and he quickly planted a kiss on her lips. Return victoriously. Yi Wanwan's heart pounded rapidly in her chest. She quietly complained, I wanted you to encourage me, not seduce me, all right? Chapter 1150. 1150. After leaving the C Corporation building, Yi Wanwan drove straight to the location of the Golden Orchid Award ceremony and met up with Yi Mufan and the others. The Golden Orchid Awards was an annual grand occasion in the entertainment industry, so everyone would be focused on it tonight without a doubt. Since the announcement of the nomination list, bustling discussions and guesses about the winners of this year's Best Actor and Best Actress pervaded the internet. Many people even made bets about the winners privately. Emperor Sky Entertainment's Pei Heng had the most people betting on him. Pei Heng won Best Actor 2 times already and had always been a capable actor. The fact that Emperor Sky invited him to their film illustrated their determination to win. The second most popular candidate was Worldwide Entertainment's Jing Wanqing. He had a golden production crew and a large 200 million yuan production behind him. Public opinion was polarized, but its box office performance was very strong. Wisdom Media's Han Yi was a dark horse who popped up this year. There were favorable opinions of him as well. As for a life and death struggles Luo Chen and Gong Su, everyone from the crew to the director to the screenwriter was obscure in the industry. The only outstanding actor was Han Xianyu, who only played a supporting role. Both Luo Chen and Gong Su were viewed as best companions. In the car, Gong Su was looking through Weibo the entire way there. When he read through the online comments, his brilliant face looked extremely arrogant. Teach companion? Wherever this young master goes, other people will be diminished into props. Luo Chen glanced at Gong Su, rendered speechless. He had no idea whether this guy was too mentally strong or simple-minded. It was like he never felt defeat. When Gong Su saw that Luo Chen was silent, he glanced at Luo Chen. Hey! The inattentive Luo Chen glanced at Gong Su, non-verbally asking, what? Gong Su wrapped his arm around Luo Chen's shoulders and quietly asked, are you feeling nervous? Luo Chen was stunned, and his expression was a little stiff. I'm not. Gong Su pursed his lips, disbelief apparent on his face. Don't bother lying to me. I've at least had a love-hate relationship with you for so long, so I know what you're thinking with a single glance. I have to say, what's there for you to be nervous about? Look at me. I'm insulted to this extent, but I'm still not nervous. Yimu Fan, who was currently driving, rolled his eyes at Gong Su through the rearview mirror. What? Are you feeling proud instead of shameful? I'm telling the truth. If you want to stay in this industry, you have to be like me and view everything like fleeting clouds. If you accept every type of trash and take every comment seriously, wouldn't you get tired to death? This fool overthinks too much. I'm tired for him, Gong Su mumbled. Warmth flitted through Luo Chen's face. He knew Gong Su was intentionally saying that to comfort him. The company was encountering a crisis right now. The award ceremony was too important this year, so the pressure on him lately had been too great. Gong Su was right, he was feeling nervous. He had never been this nervous. He had suffered from insomnia for several nights in a row already. As soon as he thought about how he might fail to live up to Brother Ye's expectations and how the company might close down, he felt like he couldn't breathe. His personality was the exact opposite of Gong Su's. Gong Su was egocentric and didn't care about other people's opinions, but Luo Chen was different. As soon as something happened, his first thought was to think about what he didn't do well. A single piece of criticism on the internet could make him feel awful for a long time. What was most unbearable to him was fear. He feared that his incapability would drag other people down. Luo Chen opened Weibo on his phone and saw that all the comments under his posts were insults toward Gong Su. Many comments were about how Gong Su dragged him down and he would have had a huge chance of winning Best Actor with his acting skills otherwise. Luo Chen stared at those comments for a long time before opening the page to make a new post. He slowly typed a line into it before posting it. Chapter 1151. At that moment, a notification rang from Yi Mufan's phone in front. Yi Mufan nearly jumped. Gong Su, what the heck did you post this time? Didn't I say you weren't allowed to make a Weibo post before the award ceremony ended? Gong Su revealed an innocent expression. Shit. I didn't post anything. You didn't post anything? Then why did my phone? Yi Mufan opened his phone and was astonished. It really wasn't Gong Su who posted something. Yi Mufan subconsciously glanced at Luo Chen in the back seat, his surprise evident. Sorry, it was me who posted, Luo Chen said. Yi Mufan coughed lightly. Yeah, I saw it. Forget it then since you posted it already. Gong Su erupted the second he heard that. Damn it. What kind of differential treatment is this? Why is it fine if he posts on Weibo, but not me? I object to this. Yi Mufan said, object my ass. Do you even know what he posted? I'm gonna see what this punk posted. Gong Su said as he opened up Weibo on his phone. Gong Su angrily pulled up Luo Chen's most recent post. When he saw what Luo Chen posted, he was shocked and looked a little mystified. Luo Chen's Weibo post was very brief and only had 4 words. He's the best partner. At Gong Su, shortly after Luo Chen posted that, there was an explosion of comments underneath the post. Was Luo Chen's account hacked? Gong Su must have hacked Luo Chen's phone to post this, right? Staunchly supporting Gong Su at a time like this, it's simply true love. Damn, Gong Su stared at the Weibo post foolishly. He evidently didn't think that Luo Chen, who had always been on bad terms with him and disliked him, would stand up for him at a time like this. Gong Su stared at that Weibo post for a long time with a tumultuous expression. After a while, he turned to Luo Chen seriously and said, Luo Chen, tell me honestly, have you fallen in love with me? Have you been captured by my charming personality? I'd advise you to give up now. If I wanted to be gay, I'd only accept my brother Yi. Luo Chen's slightly moved emotions were instantly dissipated by this fool. You're overthinking it. Yi Mufan interjected. Punk, if you talk nonsense again, I'm gonna kill you. Felix, do you want to fight? Why would you kill me? I'm being gay with brother Yi, not you. Why are you always opposing me? Gong Su, who was currently challenging Yi Mufan, had no idea that he was challenging the real elder brother-in-law. The group boisterously got out of the car, and Yi Wanwan happened to walk toward them. What are you all up to this time? Gong Su immediately fluttered toward Yi Wanwan like a butterfly and complained, Brother Yi, I just said I wanted to be gay with you, but Felix said he was going to kill me. What does it have to do with him? Yi Wanwan, the results were about to be announced, so everyone was predicting the list of winners. In contrast, this guy was talking about being gay. Fine, being mentally strong was also an advantage. Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at Gong Su before she looked at Luo Chen. Luo Chen, come here. Luo Chen walked toward Yi Wanwan at once. Brother Yi. Yi Wanwan glanced at Luo Chen with a deep frown. His face was so haggard that even his makeup could barely cover it up. Thankfully, his outfit and hairstyle helped a lot, so when the lights were on him, people wouldn't see his haggardness from far away. This child ruminated too much. Yi Wanwan said, We tried our best, and it's up to the heavens now. As long as you did your best, there's nothing to be disappointed about. Don't worry about the discussions on the internet. Pure strength is the best method to make people shut up. I believe in you. Luo Chen's pupils contracted, and his eyes reddened mildly. Yes, I understand, Brother Yi. Chapter 1152. 1152. Some distance from them, all the big names were walking the red carpet. Superstars were gathered there, their brilliance resplendent. Worldwide entertainment also reaped quite a large harvest this year. Their artists' films were nominated for Best Film, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Screenplay, etc. One of the artists under Kai Yongxing was even nominated for Best Novice. The past year's Golden Orchid Awards was a bit unusual in that there weren't a lot of films submitted for Best Novice. A few films were even banned in the country because of their sensitive themes. Hence, there was nearly zero competition for Best Novice, and anyone who met the requirements was nominated. This year was different though. All the major awards had intense competition, so it was difficult to be nominated. Based on Yi Wanwan's research, the novice under Kai Yongxing was transferred from the batch of talented novices Chu Hongguang trained at Worldwide. This novice was equipped with the top resources and had an exuberant amount of funds. Kai Yongxing was in high spirits as he led his artist. When he saw Yi Wanwan and her group, he instantly turned contemptuous. My, isn't this Yi by Great Manager Yi? I heard your artist was also nominated. Congratulations. The artists from Global around Kai Yongxing all had strange smiles on their faces. They were nominated for Best Companion, weren't they? PFT, if it weren't for Red Lotus's artist being caught using drugs and causing this film to be banned, they wouldn't have had a chance. They really got a huge-ass stroke of luck. The film, Red Lotus, that they spoke of was also a popular nominee for Best Actor. However, one of the artists in the film was caught taking drugs, so it caused the entire film to be banned. Hence, everyone in the industry thought a life-and-death struggle got a huge-ass stroke of luck and filled the empty spot. Kai Yongsheng sardonically looked at Gong Su and Luo Chen and intentionally said to the female artist next to him, young people are still too naive. Now that they've suffered a loss, they probably feel regretful. However, it's too late now. I gave them a chance but they sadly didn't treasure it. Now they want to come back? They should wash themselves squeaky clean and line up in the back. After he said that, he gloatingly walked toward the red carpet. Kai Yongsheng's voice wasn't loud, but it was loud enough for Yi Wanwan and her group to hear. Gong Su pulled up his sleeves and angrily shouted, "He squandered so many resources only to get a Best Novice Award nominee. What the hell is he so proud about? If you had the same resources, Brother Yi, that would be enough to pocket the entire Golden Orchid Awards." Yi Wanwan said, "Put down your sleeves." Oh, after Worldwide Entertainment's people left, Emperor Sky Entertainment was next. This year, Emperor Sky Entertainment was nominated for more than half of the awards. They had artists nominated for most major awards like Best Director, Best Film, Best Actor, and Best Actress, so they could be considered the biggest winner this time. With every big-name, popular potential award winner that passed by, fervent shouting swept through the area. The climax was when Yi Yi and the current hottest star under Emperor Sky, Ling Xiaojia, walked by. Although Ling Xiaojia himself wasn't nominated, the film he was in was nominated for 7 to 8 major awards and had the best box office performance this year, so his popularity couldn't be contained. The entertainment industry was like this. Perhaps you weren't the most capable, but you had a grand tree behind you, so you could soar to the sky with its help. Miss E, everyone knows Emperor Sky Entertainment is booming with success this year and was nominated for countless awards. No wonder you're the leader of our entertainment industry. On stage, the hosts lavished Emperor Sky Entertainment with all sorts of praises and took up a large amount of time. Then a staff member hurriedly walked to Yi Mufan and said, "There's not enough time. Everyone from your group will go up together later." Chapter 1153. 1153. Yi Mufan frowned. What? Why wasn't this kind of problem addressed from the start? Most people walked on the red carpet individually or in pairs in order to obtain the longest exposure time. Now, they wanted his group to go up in a pack due to a lack of time? Yi Mufan repressed his anger in his conversation with the staff member. Moreover, this isn't in accordance with the rules. The staff member impatiently said, "Plans can't keep up with change. The audience won't pay much attention to the people near the end anyway, so it's insignificant. There are only 2 minutes left for your group, so you can only have them walk it in 2 sections at the most. If you're unwilling to do it, you don't have to. There are many people waiting behind you, so please don't delay the schedule." After the staff member said that, he left in a hurry. Yi Mufan was nearly angered to death. It was clearly the artists from Emperor Sky Entertainment who took up too much time in the beginning that created a time crunch for them. Yet, the staff said it was them who were delaying the schedule? When Yi Wanwan saw Yi Mufan returning infuriated, she glanced at him. "Not enough time?" Yi Mufan's expression stiffened. "You knew already?" Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi and Ling Xiaojia, who were taking their time talking to the hosts on stage. Emperor Sky Entertainment was taking up so much time, so the organizers had to squeeze out time from the people behind Emperor Sky to compensate for it. The organizers didn't dare to offend a large company, nor would they reduce the time for popular nominees, so they were the only option. The weak were prey for the strong. The entertainment industry had always been like this. Yi Wanwan said decisively, "We'll walk in 2 groups. Lu Qing and Zishan walk first. The rest of us will walk second." Gong Su, Luo Chen, and Han Xinyu all nodded to show their agreement. After Emperor Sky Entertainment's artists finished walking, all that was left were small companies and unpopular artists. The dark throngs of photographers on each side were too lazy to even press their camera shutters. Lu Qing and Lin Zishan soon passed through the red carpet and entered the venue after signing their names. The hosts completely overlooked their interviews. There weren't any important big names near the end, so the male and female host chatted on the side and disinterestedly waited for everyone else to finish walking. Then the crowd on both sides suddenly exclaimed in shock like a rolling wave. The two hosts subconsciously looked up and were stunned. That's Han Xinyu, as well as Gong Su and Luo Chen. The other two people were a bit unfamiliar, but their appearances weren't inferior to the other three at all. From the other end of the red carpet, the five men, each with their own distinctive aura, slowly walked toward the stage like they were taking a stroll in their garden. Any one of the five had a face score off the charts, not to mention the visual impact of these five people appearing together. They were so radiant that people couldn't look directly at them. The photographers on the side couldn't help but erupt into chatter. Damn, if we're talking about good looks, there really aren't artists from other companies tonight who could compare to this group. Nothing needs to be said about Han Xinyu and Gong Su, but Luo Chen also underwent a large transformation this year. He was a bit green before, so why is his aura suddenly so strong? I feel like the one with the strongest aura is the person in the center, right? He's simply devilishly gorgeous. I think he's Luo Chen and Gong Su's manager. Damn, even a manager's face score is this high. That's not all. The other person is their company's boss. His face score is also off the charts. However, tonight is the awards ceremony for the Golden Orchid Awards, so what's the use in being so handsome? There's tons of fresh meat in the entertainment industry. But how many are truly capable? That's true. But this company's face score is truly too high. Chapter 1154. The photographers all subconsciously pressed down on their shutters, secretly lamenting that it was a pity. They could tell with their sharp instincts that this group of photos would definitely be extremely popular if they were released. Unfortunately, they wouldn't waste ink and page space on insignificant people. Everyone in the industry was perceptive. They all knew that it was uncertain whether Yi Mufan's company would remain open after the Golden Orchid Awards. The hosts were evidently given notice by Yi Shaoan, so the hosts wouldn't give them a spot in the limelight. The female host suppressed her urge to speak and helplessly watched the five superior-grade handsome men heading backstage one by one. Each one that passed by took a strand of her soul. By the time the five people all entered, the female host looked dispirited as though she had lost her soul. Even the male host perked up his head to look inside and quietly said, "Shit. My poor eyes were nearly blinded by them." Yi Wanwan and her group quickly finished walking the red carpet. After they entered, Yi Mufan's phone suddenly rang. Upon seeing the caller ID, Yi Mufan's expression shifted. "You guys enter first. I need to take a call." After taking the call, Yi Mufan stood in place and smoked for a long time, his expression gloomier than ever before. Earlier, he managed to obtain an assignment with great difficulty. It was Imperial City Satellite TV's newest outdoor reality show. Because it was a new show testing the waters, it was easier to join. After negotiating with the producers in all sorts of manners and repressing Luo Chen and Gong Su's terms and compensation again and again, he finally managed to make a deal with them. However, just now, the person in charge of the show called and unexpectedly changed his mind. He said something about how Luo Chen and Gong Su didn't fit their show style, so they had to change the guests last minute. Yi Mufan quietly cursed before calling Yao Juan. "Juan, help me look into who Hot-Blooded Adventure ended up signing as guests." It didn't take long for Yao Juan to call back. "Chairman, they just signed on Zhao Qingze, Meng Lili, Cui Mingqian, Xing Hua, as well as Ling Xiaozhe. It was unsurprisingly Emperor Sky Entertainment again. It appeared that Yi Shaoan was planning to cut off all their possible escape routes. Other than Ling Xiaozhe, one other person who took their spot was the newly signed artist under Dazzling Media's Kai Yongxing. He was the actor nominated for Best Novice at the Golden Orchid Awards this year, Cui Mingqian. Everyone in the industry was perceptive. They all knew it was unknown whether Yi Mufan's company would remain open after the Golden Orchid Awards. After Yi Mufan calmed down, he returned to his seat. The only thing he could do was wait for the results. His group was sitting in their seats with unusually solemn expressions on their faces. Even Gong Su was withered like a frosted eggplant. Luo Chen, I feel awful. Luo Chen was sitting next to Gong Su. He originally wasn't going to pay attention to Gong Su, but when he saw that Gong Su's complexion really didn't look too great, he asked, "What's wrong? Do you feel unwell?" Gong Su leaned against Luo Chen's shoulder and listlessly nodded. "Yes, I'll help you tell Brother Yi." Yes. Help me tell Brother Yi. Tell him to wear a dress for me. I guarantee it'll cure all illnesses." Luo Chen mercilessly pushed Gong Su away. This guy couldn't be serious for a single second. However, after this intermission from Gong Su, Luo Chen felt his anxiety easing up a little. The awards ceremony hadn't commenced yet, so everyone was chatting or looking at their phones. Yi Wanwan was about to tell Gong Su and Luo Chen a few things to keep in mind when her phone started vibrating. Chapter 1155. 1155. It was Jiang Yanran calling. When Yi Wanwan saw the caller ID, her eyes turned warmer. She glanced in the direction Jiang Yanran was sitting before picking up the call. "Hello." As soon as Gong Su heard this, "Hello," his ears perked up. "There's something fishy. How strange. Why is Brother Ye's so gentle?" Luo Chen didn't want to talk to him. It was just a normal hello. What was strange about it? Jiang Yanran was currently carefully turning her head to look behind her. When she heard Yi Bai's voice, her tone became excited. "Wanwan, are you here yet? Why can't I see you?" Yi Wanwan answered, "I'm here. I'm a few rows behind you, but I can see you." "Really? That's great." Jiang Yanran instantly relaxed. "Yes, I'm here. Don't be nervous." "Enden." Yi Wanwan said a few more words before hanging up. After an unintentional turn of her head, she saw that Gong Su's face was almost plastered to her phone. Yi Wanwan's expression darkened. Gong Su looked at her expectantly. "Brother Yi, who were you on the phone with? Why were you talking so gently?" "No one, just a friend." "A friend? Weird. Was there something wrong with his sixth sense? Why did he feel like Brother Yi had a lover outside?" Ladies and gentlemen, dear esteemed guests, greetings. Welcome to tonight's Golden Orchid Awards. As a rousing music played in the background, the host on the stage announced that the awards ceremony of the Golden Orchid Awards was officially commencing. Everyone's gaze instantly shot toward the stage. After the opening remarks and performance finished, the long-awaited grandiose occasion of the entertainment industry finally pulled up its curtains. The ceremony started with minor categories like Best Visual Effects, Best Production Design, and Best Motion Design to liven up the venue. 15 minutes later, the first popular category was brought up, Golden Orchid Awards Best Novice Award. On stage, the award presenter's personality was a bit energetic. After keeping the audience guessing for half a day, they finally announced the winner of the award. The winner of the Golden Orchid Awards Best Novice Award goes to the brightest new star of dazzling media this year, Cui Mingqian. Congratulations! Thunderous applause accompanied the presenter's announcement of the winner's name. The audience all gave their congratulations. Cui Mingqian cried on the spot and hugged his manager, Kai Yongxing, along with the cast and crew members near him. He was immensely emotional. In the frontmost seats designated for the higher-ups of the industry, Chu Hongguang nodded with obvious satisfaction. He was the one who piled all the resources and helped Kai Yongxing build up Cui Mingqian at a deficit cost. After Yi Bai left, all sorts of rumors arose. People said Chu Hongguang sent his own relative to shove Yi Bai away, leading to a decline at dazzling media. How could he allow his pride to be trampled by everyone? Hence, even if he knew Kai Yongxing was good for nothing, he had to elevate Kai Yongxing. Reality proved him right. Surviving in this industry required not only talent and capability. After Yi Bai left worldwide, Yi Bai returned to nothing. His fate after conning away Luo Chen and Gong Su was the best warning to the other celebrities under worldwide. As Kai Yongxing watched his artist returning to his seat after accepting the trophy, he was high-spirited. He, nonchalantly, glanced in the direction of Yi Wanwan and her group. Chapter 1156. 1156. Meanwhile, the production crew acted like they wanted the whole world to be in chaos and purposefully had the cameraman turn the camera to Yi Wanwan, as though they wanted to capture Yi Bai's loss of composure. Unfortunately, the languid and serene expression on Yi Wanwan's face never changed, and she calmly glanced at the camera lens focused on her, showing a light smile. When that smile was displayed on the giant screen in the venue, everyone's gasps could be heard. So handsome, a female artist muttered quietly. That's Yi Bai? Being a manager is truly a pity with a face like his. Kai Yongsheng looked at how Yi Bai pretended to be uncaring on the screen and inwardly sneered. Already at his grave and still acting pretentious. Punk, when you have no way out, you'll still have to obediently crawl back and beg me on your knees to save you. The awards ceremony continued. The following major awards to be presented were Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. Both of these popular major awards ended up in the hands of Worldwide Entertainment. Then, Worldwide Entertainment also obtained Best Cinematography and Best Original Score. Worldwide gained great momentum in the beginning, so Chu Hongguang's grin nearly covered his entire face. He was obviously very satisfied. As for Emperor Sky Entertainment, Yi remained unperturbed and looked unshakably confident. After all, the real major awards hadn't been awarded yet. On stage, the host was announcing the winner of the Best Adapted Screenplay. The winner of the Best Adapted Screenplay is Rong Junwei. Applause roared through the venue and everyone congratulated Rong Junwei and his cast and crew. The image on the big screen also cut to Yi and Ling Xiaojia. Rong Junwei was a renowned producer. The work that made his name back then, that summer, was popular throughout China. This time, Yi only managed to invite him out of semi-retirement through Gu Yueza's connections. With such a strong producer and crew, it was unavoidable for Ling Xiaojia to become popular. How ironic was it that Emperor Sky, who had a dispute with a screenwriter due to screenplay problems not too long ago, managed to win Best Adapted Screenplay. It was evident that Emperor Sky Entertainment wanted to sanitize their names through the Golden Orchid Awards, and they had indeed succeeded. Upon seeing that summer winning an award, Lu Qing and his companions' moods turned solemn. Gong Su couldn't help but roast them. Just a screenplay award. What's so great about it? Ling Xiaojia didn't even get a nomination. However, Yi Wanwan understood full well that Ling Xiaojia didn't need to win any award himself. He merely needed to ride on the tailwinds of that summer. The winner of this year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Director is the director of Luoxin's Legend, Ren Zian. Director Ren, congratulations. Soon, another film from Emperor Sky Entertainment, Luoxin's Legend, defeated its opponents and obtained Best Director Award. Luoxin's Legend was the film Emperor Sky Entertainment had used to shoot for the major awards this year. It was nominated for many awards, including Best Film and Best Director. The actor for the male lead, Pei Heng, was also nominated for Best Actor. A dance and song performance started on the stage. After a short break, the ceremony continued. Yi Mufan's complexion looked awful by this point. The next award is Best Film. On stage, the guest presenter announced, the winner of Best Film is Luoxin's Legend. It was Luoxin again. When Yi Mufan heard the film's name, his heart sunk to the bottom of the valley. Best Novice, Best Director, Best Film, Best Actor, and Best Actress. These 5 awards were the most important awards. Now, Worldwide Entertainment obtained a Best Novice while Emperor Sky Entertainment obtained 2 major awards already, Best Director and Best Film. Chapter 1157. Through that summer and Luoxin's Legend, Emperor Sky Entertainment managed to dominate both the box office and general popularity this year, reaping a bountiful harvest. All that's left is Best Actor and Best Actress now, Yi Mufan mumbled solemnly. Upon seeing that the next award to be announced was Best Actor, even Gong Su curbed his indifferent expression and looked at the big screen. Excitement ran through the people sitting below the stage. The people who were getting drowsy from the long and tedious process all became wide awake and looked at the stage while whispering with their neighbors. The following award we're announcing is the award everyone has their eyes on, Best Actor. Who will be the winner of this year's Best Actor? Everyone, please look at the screen. The nominations for this year include Luotian's Legend. The host started introducing the 5 films that were nominated this year. When the host reached the final film, A Life and Death Struggle, everyone subconsciously turned to curiously look at Luo Chen and Gong Su. Tut, there's gonna be a good show to watch. Right? Gong Su publicly announced he would live-stream himself eating shit if he doesn't win Best Actor and even dragged Luo Chen into it. Truly fearless, I say. Look at who it is. Is there anything Gong Su doesn't dare to say? However, the fact that Gong Su managed to get nominated is quite astonishing. The organizers also need popularity and attention, so they're just making a double Best Actor headline. It's not like it's the first time they've done this. Plus, Red Lotus just happened to be banned. Otherwise, how could it be their turn to be nominated? Look at the other films, any of them could pulverize them. These 2 people are simply here to fill the seats. The snippet of film they showed was the tragically heroic scene of Xue Xiaoyang breathing his last breath in Luo Chen's arms. The remnant sun was akin to blood, and streaks of tears flowed down the youth's bloody and grimy face, instantly eliciting heavy, aching grief in the audience. Luo Chen motionlessly stared at the scene on the big screen, sweat soaking his palms. Gong Su grumbled with a complaint. How could they use my death scene, so unlucky? After Gong Su said that, he glanced hopefully at Yi Wanwan. Brother Yi. Yi Wanwan didn't even glance at him as she said, "You want me to wear it? Sure. Win Best Actor." Gong Su, so utterly heartless. The competition for Best Actor this year is very intense. There's the dark horse who fiercely trampled into the finals, Han Yi, the male lead of Assassin, the big production that exhausted 200 million yuan, Jing Wanqing, the talented actor who's been nominated 3 times in a row, Ji Wenjing, the talented Heavenly King who won Best Actor twice already and is fully deserving of his title, Pei Heng, and also the 2 male leads of A Life and Death Struggle who were both nominated, Luo Chen and Gong Su. The hosts spoke passionately and tried their best to intensify the atmosphere. Yi Wanwan glanced at Luo Chen worriedly. Luo Chen expressed he was fine before taking a deep breath and closing his eyes. Gong Su saw Yi Wanwan exchanging a look with Luo Chen and pitifully mumbled, Brother Yi, I'm also nervous." Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at him and originally intended to ignore him when she suddenly caught something in her periphery that startled her. Gong Su had always stood and sat formlessly wherever he went, was currently stiffly sitting in his seat. Yi Wanwan extended her arm and lightly clapped Gong Su's shoulders. Chapter 1158. Yi Wanwan accidentally touched Gong Su's neck and surprisingly realized that it was soaking with sweat. This guy, he really is nervous? Gong Su felt a gentle hand covering his shoulder and patting it extremely gently. He felt like he was a little puppy without a leash whose owner finally leashed him and led him home. I feel really safe. When Yi Bai's soft fingers flitted across his soaked neck, he also felt his heart fiercely skipping a few beats for some reason, and he even forgot his nervousness. Before the winner of Best Actor was announced, the camera jumped between the nominees and also gave a few shots to the cast and crew and the higher-ups of the actors' company. The camera landed on Pei Heng and Yi the most, as though it was hinting at something. Alright, enough talking. We'll now invite our guest presenter, Director Sun Dongyu, to reveal the winner of tonight's Best Actor Award. Welcome, Director Sun. It was finally time to announce the winner. The guest presenter, Sun Dongyu, accepted the envelope from the host and said, "Good evening. I'm very honored to have been invited here to present this award." In the audience, everyone's hearts jumped to their throats. On the screen, although the nominees looked like they were trying their best to stay calm, their expressions clearly revealed their nervousness. I think it's Ji Wenjing. Worldwide's Ji Wenjing is absolutely a talented actor. He's already been nominated 3 times, so it must be his turn this time, right? That dark horse, Han Yi's, momentum is also quite fierce. Enough guessing, there's no suspense about it. It must be Pei Heng. He was already half retired at first. Emperor Sky Entertainment spent hundreds of millions to pull Pei Heng out of retirement just for this award. They're determined to win. Pei Heng does have the biggest chances. Luoxin's Legend already won Best Director and Best Film. These two awards are the markers for Best Actor and Best Actress, after all. Pei Heng was nearly a shoo-in for winning Best Actor at this point. Below the stage, the producer sitting next to Yi confidently said, "Miss Yi, don't worry. Luoxin's Legend won both Best Director and Best Film, so it's a sure bet that it'll get Best Actor. I've already prepared the celebration banquet." Under everyone's admiring and reverent gazes, Yi maintained her serene expression and lightly nodded. "Thank you for your hard work, Producer Shui." On the stage, Sun Dongyu and the host echoed each other and kept the audience guessing for half a day before finally opening the envelope. The chattering and whispering in the audience completely disappeared. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone's eyes were locked onto Sun Dongyu. Sun Dongyu began. For this year's Golden Orchid Awards, Yi Wanwan maintained her composure while Yi Mufan's fists were tightly clenched and his eyes were unblinking. Luochen took a deep breath and closed his eyes. Sun Dongyu continued, "Best Actor goes to Luo." When Sun Dongyu uttered, "Luo," everyone's eyes turned to look at Pei Heng with unsurprised expressions. Ah, it was Luoxin's Legend as expected? Yi's expression also relaxed while producer Shui prepared to embrace Pei Heng with a wide grin. However, at that moment, Sun Dongyu's voice exploded in everyone's ears. Luo Qin. When everyone heard this name, the venue went abnormally silent for a second. What did Sun Dongyu just say? Chapter 1159. It wasn't Luoxin's Legend? How did it turn into Luo Qin? Producer Shui's expression froze on his face and his extended arms awkwardly hung in midair. Yi nearly jumped up. The venue was in an uproar. What's going on? Did we mishear? It wasn't only the audience. Luo Qin himself was foolishly sitting there, unable to process what he just heard. Meanwhile, Kai Yongxing and Chu Hongguang both had a deep frown as they looked at the stage. They didn't believe Yi Bai managed to make a comeback. As though the female host realized the easy misunderstanding that this name could cause, she kindly repeated, "The winner of this year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Actor is the actor who played Xinyu in a life and death struggle, Luo Qin. Congratulations, Luo Qin." The female host's words were akin to a drop of cold water splattering into a pot of oil. Yi Mufan emotionally shot up and pulled Luo Qin over to embrace him tightly. "Stop spacing out. Luo Qin, it's you. You're the winner." The only calm person in the venue was probably Yi Wanwan. Yi Wanwan stood up and opened her arms as she looked at the stupefied Luo Qin. "Luo Qin, congratulations." Luo Qin dazedly stared at Yi Wanwan, his figure lightly trembling and his eyes reddening. He excitedly embraced her. "Brother Yi, I succeeded. I succeeded. I didn't disappoint you." The large rock that dangled above his heart finally settled. Luo Qin felt like he had received a new life. Gong Su was also dumbfounded for a long time before he finally reacted. His heart felt itchy and he stared at Luo Qin like he was staring at his wife's lover. "Damn, I guarded myself against everyone, but it turns out an internal thief stole it." Funk. It was clearly a complaint, but his voice was brimming with joy. Luo Qin looked at Gong Su, unease flitting through his eyes. They were both nominated, they both worked hard, and Gong Su truly didn't expend any less effort than Luo Qin this time, but only Luo Qin won the award. Perhaps other people weren't aware and only saw Gong Su's careless side, but Luo Qin witnessed firsthand how hard Gong Su worked during the special training. Gong Su even made him hide it from Brother Yi. Everyone present was surprised and had their own opinions about the surprise win. While Kai Yongxing gritted his teeth angrily, while Jiang Yanran was secretly clapping for them with immense joy. As for Yi, Pei Heng, producer Shui, and the rest of their group, they nearly couldn't maintain their composure as they watched this unexpected outcome. Only Pei Heng managed to maintain a congratulatory expression due to his years of experience. "Darn it! How's this possible? Luo Qin, how could it be that green punk?" Yi and her group weren't the only ones who reacted this way. No one else expected this year's Best Actor would go to the most unfavored nominee. Yi's mind swiftly spun, and she made herself calm down. They merely won a Best Actor. With Emperor Sky's strength, it could keep suppressing them without a problem. Just a bit more effort was needed. The host said, "Please welcome Luo Chen to come up and accept his award." At this time, the guest presenter on the stage, Sun Dongyu, suddenly interrupted the host. "My apologies for the interruption. I didn't finish speaking. The winner for Best Actor, there's one more." What? There's one more. Everyone had yet to recover from their earlier shock and were stunned again by this sentence. Sun Dongyu continued with a faint smile. "That's right, the other winner is Gongsu." If Sun Dongyu had splattered water into a pot of oil when he said the name Luochen, then he essentially shocked a pool of water with lightning just now. Shit? What's this outcome? It's actually a double Best Actor? Gongsu had just stood up to embrace Luochen when he abruptly heard his name. He was stunned on the spot. 3 seconds later, he blinked with a perplexed expression. "Brother, I think I've gone crazy from wishing to see you in a dress. I'm even having delusions, idiot." Luochen finally couldn't hold back his tears anymore. Tears poured down his face as he hugged Gongsu tightly. "It's not a delusion. It's real." Chapter 1162, Two Male Leads? This means double Best Actor. This was the first time double Best Actor occurred in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. It was unprecedented. This made everyone boil with emotion. No one anticipated the Golden Orchid Award for Best Actor this year would have such an unexpected turn of events. Moreover, Luo Chen and Gong Su both won Best Actor, creating double Best Actor for the first time in the Golden Orchid Awards history. Yi originally thought she could handle just Luo Chen and could even use this point to knock down Gong Su first. However, she never would have imagined it would be double Best Actor. It was actually double Best Actor. Panic appeared for the first time in Yi's eyes. Ling Xiaozhe stared at Gong Su like he'd seen a ghost. Gong Su, who he had always contemptuously looked down upon and thought had ridiculously horrible acting skills, actually won Best Actor? Producer Shue's face was also ashen and disturbed. He lowered his voice and asked Yi, "Who the hell is this Yi Bai? What's his background? This is unprecedented in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. I'm afraid we can't suppress these two people. A single Best Actor was problematic enough already, but now, it was two Best Actors. Their impact wouldn't be double, it would grow explosively and exponentially. It could already be foreseen that Luo Chen and Gong Su's names would explode after the Golden Orchid Awards. This was true for Gong Su especially. His popularity and rallying power were already very terrifying to begin with. Now that his only dark blotch was erased, his comeback persona could easily provoke an explosive effect. In this kind of situation, even if two big companies like Worldwide and Emperor Sky teamed up together, they wouldn't be able to suppress them. This was the first occurrence of double Best Actor in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. The outside world paid close attention to them, and the committee of judges also supported and had high hopes for them. If Worldwide and Emperor Sky wanted to forcibly suppress them, it would definitely cause negative criticism, not to mention whether they could even suppress them in the first place. Yi naturally knew this. She originally thought nothing could go wrong, so she hadn't expected this result. When she looked at Yi Mufan, her expression was extremely dark. However, there was still someone who looked more awful than Yi, Chu Hongguang. When you thought about it, he spent so much money and piled so many resources, but all that did was help Kai Yongxing make Cui Mingqian popular and win Best Novice. Chu Hongguang originally wanted to prove that his judgment and decision were both correct. In the end, Yi Bai turned around and managed to make Luo Chen and Gong Su win Best Actor at the same time. Even Gong Su, whose acting skills were officially deemed trashy by the entire entertainment industry, managed to win a Best Actor with his help. This turnaround, it stabbed his heart. Chu Hongguang originally still insisted his decision was correct due to his pride and thought it was Yi Bai who was in the wrong, but he now drowned in regret. If Yi Bai didn't leave back then, this could all be his. It could have belonged to Worldwide. They could have angered Emperor Sky to death and even shaken Emperor Sky's position as leader, and they could have held their head high. But now, everything was useless. Chu Hongguang felt his face twitch. He wanted to strangle that trash, Kai Yongxing. Brother Yi. I actually won Best Actor. Quick, pinch me, no need to trouble him. I'll do it for you. Yi Mufan teased mirthfully. This was the first time Yi Mufan considered this guy pleasing to the eyes. During this period of time, the Age of Immortals ran into snags everywhere it went. They were even kicked out of a show right before the award ceremony started. He had already prepared himself for death. He never expected a light at the end of the tunnel. Chapter 1161. The host's voice reverberated from the speakers in the ceremony venue. Luo Chen attracted everyone's attention and gained tremendous popularity with his debut in the film Terrifying Dragon. After 3 years of silence, he returned to the public eye through Terrifying Dragon 2, demonstrating his excellent acting skills once again. Then, in a life and death struggle, he portrayed Special Forces soldier Xin Yu and fully illustrated the magnificence of a Chinese soldier with his superb acting skills. In a life and death struggle, Gong Su perfectly portrayed Xue Xiaoyong, a vivid and substantial character who's both a hero and villain. His acting skills improved in leaps and bounds, demonstrating to the audience that, after the host finished her recitation, she excitedly said, "This is too exciting. I didn't expect there to be 2 winners for tonight's Best Actor. Now, I'll invite our 2 winners to come up onto the stage." Yi Mufan quickly urged Luo Chen and Gong Su to go. "Hurry and go up." Wait. Brother Yi, you haven't hugged me yet." Gong Su opened his arms demandingly. Yi Wanwan had no choice but to walk over and hug a certain large canine. Only then was Gong Su happy. He hugged Yi Wanwan as hard as he could. Ever since Gong Su met this person, his life had changed. Initially, he did it for little Candied Plum. However, before he knew it, this person began to grow in importance to him. Although he was managed, scolded, and even beaten every day, he was very happily abused every single day. This person? HM? Why is Brother Ya's body so soft? Also, he smells really good. Honestly, he honestly smells like a girl. Stop acting cute. Go ready. Yi Wanwan urged. Oh, Gong Su inexplicably felt his face boiling and his heart about to leap out of his chest. He subconsciously clutched his chest. Damn, it's just a hug. Why the heck are you pounding so wildly? Why are you pretending to be pure? Gong Su dazedly stared at Yi Wanwan for a few seconds with a blush on his face before dizzily following Luo Chen onto the stage. On the stage, one of them was calm and reserved while the other was free and unruly. As they walked shoulder to shoulder to stand underneath the glowing lights, they were brilliant and eye-catching, as though no darkness could stifle their radiance. Countless viewers simultaneously watched the ceremony's live stream on their TVs and witnessed this scene, witnessing the rising of 2 stars. At Imperial City Satellite TV's busy date with a superstar crew, Director Ho. Watch the TV quick. Suddenly, the junior assistant dashed toward the director of the show, Ho Chongliang. Ho Chongliang fiercely slapped the script in his hand and angrily shouted, "See what? Can't you see I'm going crazy with work? Why are you watching TV at a time like this?" Dazzling Media's Chui Mingqian was stolen by hot-blooded adventure. I told you to invite Pei Heng. Have you reserved Pei Heng's time slot yet? That's not it. Director Ho. Look at this first. It's really important. Luo Chen and Gong Su both won Golden Orchid Award for Best Actor. The junior assistant said, breathing heavily. Ho Chongliang was startled. What did you just say? The junior assistant exclaimed, I said, Best Actor. Best Actor. Double Best Actor. Luo Chen and Gong Su. Ho Chongliang stared at the junior assistant like he was a fool. Are you freaking kidding me? Gong Su? Best Actor? There was probably no one who would link Gong Su and Best Actor together. Really? Watch it yourself if you don't believe me, director. As the junior assistant said this, he placed his phone, which was playing the Golden Orchid Awards live stream, in front of Ho Chongliang. Chapter 1162. When Ho Chongliang saw that the junior assistant didn't seem to be joking, his expression shifted and he snatched the phone. On the live stream, the host just happened to invite Gong Su and Luo Chen to go onto the stage to accept their award. Luo Chen and Gong Su's star power was extremely powerful today, even through a screen. They were currently standing under the brilliant lights and going through their acceptance speech. They really won Best Actor. They even won it together. Ho Chongliang dazedly said, "The Golden Orchid Awards can have 2 Best Actors?" The junior assistant emotionally said, "It's never happened before. It's the first time in its history." The netizens have completely exploded. About Gong Su especially. He went from the most untalented actor in the entertainment industry to winning Best Actor. This leap in skill, along with his Weibo post about eating shit if he doesn't get Best Actor, their talking points are simply off the charts. Ho Chongliang stared at the phone screen, his eyes nearly bulging out. How could this be?" the junior assistant said. "It's really unbelievable. When I heard these 2 people's names, I also jumped in fright. That manager, Yi Bai, is seriously too awesome. Anyway, all the newspaper and news sites tomorrow are going to explode tomorrow. Whether it was Cui Mingqian or Pei Heng, neither of them could cause a bigger flurry of discussion than those 2. Ho Chongliang's face was utterly dark by this point. In order to ingratiate himself with Emperor Sky Entertainment and Ling Xiaojia, he previously intentionally snubbed Gong Su and Luo Chen and shrank their script. In the end, he even deleted all of their recorded scenes. Damn it! Why is the outcome like this? Ho Chongliang nearly went mad from regret. The junior assistant remorsefully mumbled, "If we followed our original plan, this week's episode would just happen to coordinate with the Golden Orchid Awards popularity. We'd be ahead of all the other media outlets. The episode's ratings would definitely reach an all-time high. What a pity." "Shut up. You only know to give advice in hindsight. If there's no if." Regret rolled around in Ho Chongliang's body. He felt more grief and lament than if he had brushed past 100 million yuan. What a good opportunity. Now, they wouldn't get it back even if they spent 10 or 100 times more. Right, those 10 minutes. Didn't we have 10 minutes? Ho Chongliang hurriedly asked. The junior assistant answered, Director Ho, those 10 minutes were deleted according to your request." Ho Chongliang roared, "If they're deleted, then figure out a way to recover them. Isn't there a spare copy? 10 minutes. Not a single minute can be missing. Get it all back for me. Also, hurry and call Yi Bai and book them for our next episode. I want Gong Su and Luo Chen to both be there." When the junior assistant heard that, he felt his head swelling. Everyone must currently be falling over themselves to contact Age of the Immortals to compete for the first wave of popularity. They just had a falling out with the Age of the Immortals. How were they supposed to book them now? They weren't the only ones. There was someone who wanted to die more than Ho Chongliang. It was the director of the reality show Hot-Blooded Adventure, Feng Ke. Damn it. Curse it all. When Feng Ke got the news, he nearly thrashed the TV due to his anger. The assistant director next to him tried to comfort him. Old Feng. Calm down. Calm down." Feng Ke clutched his chest. He was dizzy from rage and felt like he was about to start coughing blood. Fuck. I just switched out 2 Best Actors. How can I be calm? Anyone with eyes knew how explosive the popularity of double Best Actor would be. Nearly everyone was fighting for this wonderful opportunity and wanted to ride on this wave of popularity. Chapter 1163. This opportunity was once in his pockets. But he wrecked it with his own hands. Feng Ke's current mood could be imagined. When the assistant director saw Feng Ke's anguished expression, he clapped Feng Ke's shoulders and comforted, "Ey, don't be like this. I heard old Ho managed to invite them but deleted all of their scenes and didn't broadcast it. It was Luo Chen and Gong Su's first time being on a variety show together after a life and death struggle, but they screwed it up themselves. He's even stupider than you. Don't you feel better thinking about that? Feel better, my ass. Hurry and help me think of a method. Help me coax them back." While news of Gong Su and Luo Chen winning Best Actor together rapidly spread in the outside world, the awards ceremony continued in the Golden Orchid Awards venue. In the audience, the vice president of Emperor Sky Entertainment saw Yi's awful complexion and gently coughed. "Missy, Yi Mufan was just lucky this time. You don't need to worry yet, there's still a very important award. We already won Best Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Film. If we win Best Actress as well, we'll still be the biggest winner this year." Yi closed her eyes and tried her hardest to suppress the rolling emotions inside. "We absolutely can't allow anything else to go wrong." The male and female lead in Luotian's Legend were both nominated for Best Actor and Best Actress. Since we didn't win Best Actor, that means our probability of winning Best Actress is very high since the organizers typically won't allow the same film to dominate too many major categories. It must be because of this that we didn't get Best Actor. I've already made this prediction with you before. Tan Wei walked through his analysis with confidence. Tan Wei's words both comforted Yi and gave Pei Heng a way out of this embarrassing situation. Pei Heng also said, "Based on my experience, Vice President Tan is correct. A lot of organizers for major awards act like that." Yi's complexion improved slightly. She took a deep breath and resumed looking towards the stage. However, her expression didn't relax in the slightest. Because the other competitors this year were also very strong. Luo Chen and Gong Su were carrying their awards back to their seats, and they were about to reveal Best Actress on the stage. The winner of the most highly anticipated award tonight, Best Actress Award, was about to be announced. The host enthusiastically said, "The most exciting moment is finally here. Everyone knows that the competition for this year's Best Actress Award is the most intense in recent years. Who will obtain the crown for Best Actress? Let's wait and see. Please look at the screen." The introductions of the 5 nominated films started playing on the big screen. The Sigh of Wind and Cry of Cranes, its female lead played by Yin Xiaoxian. Password, its female lead played by Qiao Chu. You'll Never Know, its female lead played by Han Qingling. Luotian's Legend, its female lead played by Lu Weiwei, and Jasmine, its female lead played by Jiang Yanran. Yi Wanwan focused on the films on the big screen. The competition for this year's Best Actress was more intense than that of Best Actor, so it really wasn't that easy to predict. Gong Su poked Yi Wanwan's arm. "Brother Yi! Brother Yi!" Yi Wanwan continued to stare at the big screen. "Quiet." Gong Su suspiciously mumbled, "They're announcing Best Actress next. It has nothing to do with our company. Why are you paying so much attention to it?" Chapter 1164. Yi Wanwan didn't answer. She saw Jiang Yanran cautiously turning around to glance at her from the front. She could tell Jiang Yanran was beyond nervous based on her expression. Yi Wanwan quickly sent her a comforting look. Only then did Jiang Yanran look a little better and turn back around. Gong Su felt like Yi Wanwan was casting amorous glances at someone, but when he followed her gaze, he couldn't find the other person. Maybe I'm really overthinking things? Damn. Gong Su, calm down. You're straight. What's wrong with you? Why are you suddenly paying so much attention to a man? Next, we'll invite the winner of last year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Actress, Qiao Kursin, to help us present tonight's Best Actress Award, the host announced. Fervent applause rang below the stage. The guest presenter is Sister Kursin? As Gong Su muttered that, he wondered if that was why Brother Yi was paying extra attention to this award. Brother Yi and Qiao Kursin seemed to have quite an amicable relationship privately. There wasn't anything romantic between them, right? Shit. Why am I back to thinking about Yi Bai again? Stop it. Thank you. Qiao Kursin walked onto the stage, looking stunning. Thank you to the Golden Orchid Awards for inviting me. I know everyone must be tired of waiting by now, so I won't keep you guessing and will directly announce the results. It really was Qiao Kursin. She presented the awards more straightforwardly than everyone else. A wave of kind laughter swept through the audience. After Qiao Kursin said that, she opened the envelope and glanced at a certain spot below the stage as she announced, "The winner of this year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Actress is Jasmine's Jiang Yanran." Thunderous applause reverberated through the venue the second Xiao Kursin finished speaking. Everyone could sincerely accept this kind of result from the final film director Peng Yuan, who directed before he retired. Moreover, the novice Jiang Yanran performed outstandingly in the film. When the film showed in theaters, it already obtained countless favorable reviews from the industry. Many agencies were attempting to recruit this extremely talented novice. Now that Jiang Yanran managed to win Golden Orchid Award for Best Actress with her first film, her net worth would rise as well and her future was bright. When Yi Yi heard this result, her expression was dark. They didn't win Best Actor and also lost Best Actress. These were the two most important awards. The other awards were useless no matter how many they won. Vice President Tan Wei said while wiping his sweat, Director Peng's film is truly very strong. There's also nothing to be done. But at least it wasn't Worldwide who got it. Yi's eyes shifted, and she immediately asked, "What agency is Jiang Yanran under?" Tan Wei quickly answered, "I was about to address this. I paid attention to this rookie before. She doesn't have an agency right now, so we can totally poach her." Yi said with a glower, "We must poach her no matter the price." Tan Wei replied, "I'll arrange it as soon as the awards ceremony finishes. Don't worry. Best Actress will still be ours in the end. Congratulations. Please come up on the stage to accept the award, Miss Jiang Yanran." The host called. Jiang Yanran's eyes were red due to her emotions as she hugged each member of the cast and crew next to her. Through the crowd, Jiang Yanran distantly met the eyes of Yi Wanwan in the back before slowly walking toward the stage. "Damn, how the heck?" Yi Mufan stared at his sister like he was looking at a celestial being. 2 Best Actors and 1 Best Actress. This girl, she truly defies the heavens. Chapter 1165. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Jiang Yanran. There was a lot of admiration and jealousy from other celebrities in the mix. Her debut film was the work of director Peng Yuanhu, and she even won Golden Orchid Award for Best Actress. Such a high starting point and so young. Plus, her innate ability and appearance were both outstanding. Her future ahead was bright. How many people had to spend 5 years, a decade, or perhaps even several decades before they reached this height? How many agencies spent an innumerable amount of energy and resources to build a film star like her? Yet, she easily obtained all this and entered the entertainment industry with such a radiant halo above her. Some of the seniors in the entertainment industry had high praise for her. Each new generation truly surpasses the previous. Such an outstanding novice is a rare sight in the entertainment industry. She's truly a 1 in 1,000 good seed. No wonder she was chosen by someone as picky as Director Peng. Jiang Yanran will probably become the second Xiao Yufei in the entertainment industry. Back then, Xiao Yufei also won Best Actress with her first film at the age of 19. 3 years later, she advanced onto the international scene and is an incontestable A-lister. As Peng Yuanhu listened to the compliments around her, he showed a rare satisfied and praising expression. This girl is quite decent indeed. Her foundations are very solid, and her perception is very strong. But what? Someone asked. There's probably a great teacher coaching this girl behind the scenes. Peng Yuanhu said pensively. The person next to her grew interested. Oh, a great teacher coaching her? Could there possibly be a better teacher than you, Director Peng? Peng Yuanhu watched as Jiang Yanran walked onto the stage. It's just a guess. That girl is clearly a completely inexperienced novice, but she performs too well. She barely made a single mistake in the past few months with the film crew. No matter what, a nearly perfect talent like this with enormous potential and regarded so well by Peng Yuanhu, even gaining a priceless compliment from him, would certainly instigate an intense fight amongst all the agencies. There were countless other people who wanted to recruit her, just like Yi and Tan Wei. Chu Hongguang was one of them. As soon as the winner was announced, Chu Hongguang immediately ordered the higher-up from Worldwide Entertainment sitting next to him. Director Xiang, you must sign this girl before Emperor Sky Entertainment does. Xiang Jie, the director of the talent recruitment department at Worldwide Entertainment, answered, Chairman Chu, I've been keeping an eye on director Peng's film, so I did some research on Jiang Yanran as soon as I learned about the audition results. And then? Chu Hongguang promptly asked. Xiang Jie started. When I learned that Jiang Yanran was just a normal student and wasn't signed with an agency, I personally went to talk to her. However, she rejected me. That girl didn't agree even when we worldwide went to recruit her, so she was probably waiting for the results of the Golden Orchid Awards to come out to ask for a higher price. Xiang Jie continued. Chu Hongguang pensively said, satisfy her regardless of her asking price. Recruiting an already existing talent was much better than spending a large amount of money to support a novice who might not even become popular. Unless they were the kind of managers with sharp foresight and an extremely strong ability to produce a god, producing a big-name artist was harder than ascending to the heavens, especially for an artist that went the talent route. The name Yi Bai suddenly surfaced in Chu Hongguang's mind, eliciting another wave of pent-up frustration. Because of an erroneous decision, he now had to expend several times more time and energy to compensate for the loss. Chapter 1166 Xiang Jie answered, all right, Chairman Chu, I understand. I'll definitely complete this task to the best of my abilities. Chu Hongguang worriedly added, regardless of the price Emperor Sky offers, suppress them however you wish. Do this as soon as the award ceremony ends. Yes. Upon overhearing the conversation between Chu Hongguang and Xiang Jie, Kai Yongsheng inwardly rubbed his hands and said, Uncle, how about you let me take care of this? I'll definitely do a good job. Chu Hongguang quietly shouted, shut up. If you dare to interfere in this matter, leave the company. You useless piece of trash. Kai Yongsheng looked aggrieved. How am I trash? At least I won a best novice. You have the nerve to mention that? Chu Hongguang was nearly angered to death. Xiang Jie stayed silent and tried his best to minimize his presence, unwilling to interfere with their argument. However, he was rather sympathetic toward Chu Hongguang. It was Chu Hongguang who personally made an exception and hired Yi Bai back then. Although he did do it to control Zhou Wenbin in the beginning, Yi Bai was an unexpectedly rare talented individual and led dazzling media to great heights. Talented individuals were too important to a company, let alone a genius-level talent like Yi Bai. He watched his own nephew forcing away Yi Bai and then helplessly watched Yi Bai turn things around completely and produce two best actors while under the suppression of both Emperor Sky Entertainment and Worldwide Entertainment. If he hadn't forced away Yi Bai back then, all these benefits would be Worldwide's. Ahem, if I were Chu Hongguang, I'd also turn crazy from anger. Below the stage, all the guests, artists, and agency higher-ups fervently looked at the girl on the stage. Countless agencies were already prepared to fight for her. Jiang Yanran was wearing a red gown that Yi Wanwan chose for her. She resembled a budding flower who was slowly unleashing her radiance. We'll now invite our newly crowned Best Actress to give us an acceptance speech. If you please, Miss Jiang Yanran. The host politely handed the microphone to Jiang Yanran. Thank you. It was Jiang Yanran's first time experiencing this kind of situation, so being nervous was unavoidable. Her hand was shaking as she held the microphone. Underneath the stage, Yi Wanwan's eyes shot past the crowd and landed on the girl with a singular focus. As Yi Wanwan recalled Jiang Yanran's fate in her previous life, her heart was full of warmth as she watched the glowing girl. She warmed other people but also warmed herself. Jiang Yanran's eyes reddened faintly as she looked at Yi Wanwan in the audience. Jiang Yanran first bent down to give a deep bow. Then she took a deep breath before she looked up and spoke into the microphone. First of all, thank you to the evaluation committee and organizers for presenting me with this kind of opportunity. I must also thank Director Peng for trusting me and giving me this role. Thank you to all my companions in the cast and crew and your hard work over the last several months. Wild applause rang underneath the stage. Jiang Yanran chose the most secure type of opening by thanking everyone. Then Jiang Yanran paused briefly before she resolutely continued. In addition to this, I also need to thank one person especially. Typically, when artists mentioned they needed to give special thanks to a person during their acceptance speech, There was either gossip or something worthy of discussion. Hence, everyone waited for Jiang Yanran to continue with interest and anticipation. Jiang Yanran's eyes were brimming with gratefulness and warmth. If it wasn't for her, Jiang Yanran wouldn't be standing here today. Chapter 1167. 1167 whispering erupted below the stage at Jiang Yanran's words. Was Jiang Yanran about to thank a certain senior or teacher in the industry? They knew it. There must be a master behind a novice for a novice to win Best Actress. Director Peng's audition alone wasn't an easy obstacle to overcome. Director Peng spent more than half a year just to find a female lead. His strictness sent chills down people's backs. Countless big names hadn't successfully auditioned for the role in Jasmine, but a novice like Jiang Yanran succeeded. Who would believe that no one gave Jiang Yanran pointers and helped pave the way? Everyone curiously looked at Jiang Yanran, wanting to discover the person acting behind Jiang Yanran. They're my best friend. They're also my benefactor and my teacher. They gave me 2 lives. They rescued me out of the mud pits the first time, and they granted me my dream the second time. I've always felt that I was luckier than everyone. Because they were by my side, I avoided a lot of detours. They gave me confidence. They told me that I was more suited to act than perform behind-the-scenes work. They taught me all the techniques behind acting and told me to concentrate on learning and solidifying my foundations. This time, it was also them who kept encouraging me to audition for Director Peng's Jasmine. They told me that this role was very suited for me and gave me the courage to take the first step. They stayed up late to thoroughly study the screenplay. They practiced with me, accompanied me to the audition, and answered all of my questions. As Yi Wanwan listened to Jiang Yanran's every word, her expression was gentler than it had ever been. The host finally couldn't help but ask the question on everyone's minds. It appears that the person you want to thank has a very important impact on your life, Yanran? They were even the one who chose Director Peng's film for you? That's right. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for them. May I ask who you're speaking of, Yanran? Jiang Yanran's eyes were glistening with tears as she looked in Yi Wanwan's direction. I've never mentioned their name before today because I didn't feel worthy. But now, I can finally stand on this stage today with this award in my hand and tell everyone. Under everyone's fervent gazes, Jiang Yanran shakily said, "They're my manager, Yi Bai." "They're my manager, Yi Bai." Yi Bai, Jiang Yanran's words reverberated in the hall through the speakers. On the stage, the beautiful girl looked at the audience emotionally with glistening tears. The cameraman paused briefly before he swiftly reacted and promptly cut the camera toward Yi Bai. The entire ceremony hall was dead silent for a few seconds. Then the celebrities and guests present all stood up due to excessive shock, not caring for their image. They all turned to look at a certain row behind them. Yi Bai? Jiang Yanran actually has a manager already? And her manager is actually Yi Bai. The former vice president of Dazzling Media, the current director of the talent recruitment department of Age of the Immortals, Yi Bai. The manager of the 2 actors who just went onto the stage to accept the Best Actor award, Yi Bai. Chapter 1168, Damn! Someone exclaimed in the silent crowd, disturbing the silence and eliciting a rumble of uproar. Jiang Yanran already has a manager? And her manager is Yi Bai? But isn't Yi Bai Luo Chen and Gong Su's manager? Shit. Producing 2 best actors is frightening enough already. Then without giving us time to recover, he gives us a best actress. This Yi Bai. Is he a freak? Isn't this too frightening? Meanwhile, Chu Hongguang sat stiffly like a statue in his seat. What did that girl just say? Xiang Jie was also shocked out of his mind. When he heard Chu Hongguang, he quickly regained his senses and wiped his sweat. He gulped and looked at Chu Hongguang's deathly pale face as though he'd lost too much blood. He answered cautiously, Jiang Yanran just said, her manager is Yi Bai. Jiang Yanran already has a manager. Yi Bai? Yes. Chu Hongguang's face went from ashen to the color of liver. He shakily clutched his chest and couldn't utter a single word. Xiang Jie jumped in fright. Chairman Chu. Chairman Chu, are you all right? Chu Hongguang shakily searched his body. Xiang Jie quickly dug out a small bottle of heart-saving pills from Chu Hongguang's body and fed them to him. Only then did Chu Hongguang raggedly recover, but his face still resembled a corpse's. In the next second, Chu Hongguang's eyes shot toward Kai Yongsheng like ice daggers. Upon receiving his uncle's murderous and flaying gaze, Kai Yongsheng didn't dare to boast and cowered in his seat. This is really fucking cursed. Is Yi Bai, that bastard, still human? Damn it. If I had known, I would have treated Yi Bai better before, and wouldn't have made things so ugly. Chu Hongguang had a chest of fury without anywhere to vent. He felt like he could see his tragic future. Ahem. On the other side, the vice president of Emperor Sky Entertainment, Tan Wei, was also embarrassed. He evidently never expected this result. This was a worse result than having Jiang Yanren stolen by Worldwide. He had no idea where their news went wrong. Jiang Yanran had a manager already. And her manager was Yi Bai from Age of the Immortals, who worked under Yi Mufan. He was Yi Shaoan and Yi's confidant, so he naturally knew Yi Mufan was slowly threatening Yi and Yi Shaoan's inheritance status in the Yi family. The results of this year's Golden Orchid Awards even represented grandfather Ye's decision. They were fucked this time. Missy, Tan Wei had no idea what to say after even half a day. Yi's nails dug into her palms as she stared intently at Yi Mufan and Yi Bai. If there weren't cameras around her, she would have probably slammed her phone onto the ground and left on the spot. Under everyone's shocked and almost numb gazes, Jiang Yanren held her trophy and slowly walked down the stage, heading toward Yi Wanwan. Yi Mufan tactfully yielded his seat, and Han Xinyu also stood up to yield his spot while clapping. Yi Wanwan stood up and opened her arms with a faint smile while looking at Jiang Yanran. Jiang Yanran couldn't hold back the tears rolling down her face. Actually, I've always really wanted to say this to you. Thank you, Wanwan. Chapter 1169. Yi Wanwan embraced the girl. Congratulations. No need to thank me, you've been wonderful from the start. All the cameramen at the venue instantly aimed their cameras to capture the newly crowned Best Actress embracing her legendary manager. Thunderous applause exploded after a shock swept through the crowd. All the agencies who were just planning to poach Jiang Yanren were now completely dumbfounded. The newly crowned Best Actress with an unlimited future already belonged to someone. No one expected that the biggest headline of tonight wasn't Best Actor or Best Actress. It was actually a manager. A manager who debuted merely a year ago yet already produced 2 Best Actors and 1 Best Actress. As for the Age of the Immortals, only Yi Mufan knew about Jiang Yanran. No one else knew Jiang Yanran was under Yi Wanwan. However, Han Xinyu still looked fairly calm. To him, no matter how astonishing something was, he could take it in stride if it happened to Yi Bai. As for Luo Chen and Gong Su, Luo Chen was shocked while Gong Su had a more comical expression. Gong Su was staring at Yi Bai and the newly crowned Best Actress while he dazedly told Luo Chen, "Fool, look at me." Luo Chen looked at Gong Su with incomprehension. Gong Su asked, "Tell me what's different about me." "Different?" Luo Chen echoed with furrowed brows. Gong Su was about to break down. "I'm green. I've turned green. Can't you see it? Can't you see that the grassland above my head is enough to raise an entire Mongolian tribe? Brother Yi actually lied to me. He really was having an affair behind my back." Below the stage, in places unseen by the camera, countless people were discussing this legendary manager. What's Yi Bai's background? How come I've never heard of this person before? A certain female super A-lister asked with interest. In contrast to those golden managers who'd already become famous and were managing super A-listers, Yi Bai wasn't a familiar name to some people. Now though, this person managed to produce 2 Best Actors and 1 Best Actress in a single night. No one could overlook his existence anymore. In the audience, a knowledgeable celebrity from Worldwide quickly answered, Yi Bai was originally working for Worldwide. After Chairman Chu transferred him to Dazzling Media, he made Luo Chen popular all by himself and poached Gong Su from Zhou Wenbin, thoroughly taming Gong Su. After Yi Bai took over Dazzling Media's performance steadily climbed. He worked for Chu Hongguang? Then how come I heard he went to Age of the Immortals later and even took away Luo Chen and Gong Su? Someone asked. An artist under Dazzling Media glanced in Chu Hongguang's direction and pointedly said, "It's only because Chairman Chu saw that Dazzling was earning more and more money, so he wanted to insert his own people in the company and transferred Kai Yongxing there." As soon as Kai Yongxing entered the company, he set up obstructions for Yi Bai everywhere he could. He used Gong Su and Luo Chen to bring popularity to his own artist, even used them to create rumors and used them as stepping stones. He forced Yi Bai to leave. Everyone liked to listen to gossip, so they all excitedly pressed. And then you know the rest of the story. Luo Chen and Gong Su are staunchly loyal. They ignored Kai Yongxing's threat about boycotting them and left with Yi Bai. "Tut tut, good thing they left with Yi Bai," someone commented. Chapter 1170. Exactly as you said? Oh right, what's up with Han Xianyu? Another person asked. The worldwide artist who talked earlier said mysteriously, "There's no way you'd know. However, I have insider information." What insider information? Quickly tell us. Quick. Everyone pressed. Heh, do you know who covertly resolved Han Xianyu's pedophilia scandal? Who? Damn it, it can't possibly be. That's right. It was Yi Bai. Are you sure? How do you know? I already said it's insider information. All the senior management at Worldwide knew about this back then. It's just that Chu Hongguang wanted to keep his pride, so he didn't allow anyone to tell others. Think about it, such a giant scandal, even his own public relations couldn't do anything. He ended up having to rely on an outsider to resolve it. How shameful would it be if word got out? I heard it was through the resolution of this scandal that Yi Bai became valued by Chu Hongguang. Everything makes sense then. No wonder Han Xianyu didn't hesitate to offend Worldwide, terminate his contract, and leave with a minor manager. I admit defeat. Does this Yi Bai possess magical powers or something? All I want to know right now is how Chu Hongguang feels at the moment. I saw that his face was livid with anger. Following the announcement of the winner of Best Actress, the Golden Orchid Awards award ceremony came to a perfect end. In contrast to the lack of interest from everyone when they arrived, Yi Wanwan's group was surrounded by celebrities and guests who came to curry favor with them. Jiang Yanran spoke briefly with Director Peng before leaving with Yi Wanwan and her group. As soon as they walked outside, they were encircled by a sea of reporters and blinding camera flashes. When everyone looked at this nearly blinding lineup, this group's company's name involuntarily surfaced in their minds: Age of the Immortals. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. Nearly every media outlet was working overtime. At the editorial department of Vivi, the editor-in-chief, Chai Yongli, contemplatively said, "This youth, Yi Bai, is truly fearsome. I've thought he was extraordinary from the start." The photographer, Xiao Yutong, watched the man surrounded by the media during the live broadcast on TV, and a reminiscent expression appeared on her face. I still remember what Director Yi said to me during Vivi's most difficult period. It was this sentence that supported me for a long time. What did he say? Chai Yongli asked. He said, "If the entire world is your enemy, then become so strong that even the world can't stop your footsteps." After the award ceremony ended, the results for each award category were announced on the internet. The photos from the venue were also immediately posted onto the internet by all the major media outlets. One of the entertainment industry's 10 miracles, Gong Su really won Best Actor. The first time in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards, the birth of double Best Actor. Shocking news. The mysterious manager behind the newly crowned Best Actress. Wild monopolization of double Best Actor and Best Actress. Tonight belongs to Age of the Immortals. The legendary heavenly group of breathtaking beauties. Headlines like that rapidly spread throughout the entire internet. The Weibo post that Luo Chen posted before also got boosted to "What's Hot," and a bunch of clamoring comments could be seen below it. I'm too emotional. Luo Chen actually intentionally at Ed Gong Su. This is an official distribution of candy. Luo Chen and Gong Su's relationship is really good. It's much better than those superficial and artificial brotherhoods in the entertainment industry. Chapter 1171. I've already watched a life and death struggle twice. It's truly excellent and Luo Chen and Gong Su are both superb in it. Too bad there are so little showings and the haters and internet navy keep defaming it. I can finally hold my head high now. Agreed, the netizen above me. However, why do I feel sad that I can't watch Luo Chen and Gong Su livestream themselves eating shit? Fei Yang and Yao Juan, who were waiting outside, also learned about the results. Both of them were very excited and rushed to help the assistants and bodyguards escort Yi Wanwan and the others into the minibus. The minibus was very spacious, so everyone could sit inside. Fei Yang's face was flushed red from excitement. Damn, Gong Su, good job. Luo Chen is fine, but you actually won Best Actor. The entire entertainment industry is in an uproar. You wanted to see me live stream myself eating shit? Keep dreaming. Gong Su spoke with a gloating tone, and his tail nearly touched the sky from how high it was swinging. Fei Yang looked at Yi Wanwan with amazement. Director Yi, you've changed something rotten into something magical. I bow at your feet. Gong Su was instantly displeased. Hey, watch your words. Who are calling rotten? Haven't you seen what the internet is saying? I'm just a pearl that was covered by dust. Haven't you gone to school? Fei Yang rolled his eyes at Gong Su and ignored him. He excitedly looked at the girl sitting next to Yi Wanwan. Yi Bai, your eyes are so damn sharp. Where did you poach this sister? Why didn't I notice? You have no idea how our manager group chat exploded when the winner was announced. Nearly all the golden managers were planning to poach her. Even I was tempted and was wondering if I could find a way to poach her since I thought our agency didn't have any female artists yet. But then she gave her acceptance speech and revealed you were her manager. I was dumbstruck. Yi Wanwan listened to Fei Yang's gushing before she explained with a smile. Our company's situation wasn't too bright before and Worldwide and Emperor Sky were both suppressing us. I was afraid Yen Ran would run into trouble, so I didn't sign her officially. Fei Yang nodded with understanding. I see. Jiang Yenran nervously introduced herself to everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Jiang Yenran. Please take care of me from now on. Hello. Don't worry, everyone is easygoing here. No need to be nervous. Fei Yang enthusiastically said. Hello, I'm Director Ye's assistant, Yao Juan. Hello. Luo Chen nodded. Han Xinyu lightly chuckled. So you're the Yenran who Yi Bai frequently mentions. Welcome to Age of the Immortals. Jiang Yenran blushed. Hello, senior. I've always been your fan, even though she climbed the wall not long ago. Jiang Yenran turned to Gong Su. Hello, senior Gong Su. Yi Wanwan was sitting in the middle with Jiang Yenran and Gong Su on each side. Gong Su had been emitting a green light for a while now. He kept a stern expression and didn't respond even when Jiang Yenran greeted him. Upon seeing this, Yi Wanwan inconspicuously sent him a warning glance. He glared at me. He's glaring at me on his new lover's behalf. Gong Su instantly felt his heart crumbling into smithereens. He gave Jiang Yenran a side glance and harumphed. Good that you know I'm your senior. You're the newest here, so you should know the rules. Gong Su was about to position himself as the legitimate wife when Yi Wanwan interrupted him. She came earlier than you. What? Earlier than me? Impossible. Gong Su stared intently at Jiang Yenran and asked, when did you start following Brother Yi? How could you possibly have started earlier than me? Why didn't I know this? Chapter 1172. Jiang Yenran pondered over it. Technically speaking, she agreed to follow Wanwan back in her third year of senior high. Hence, she answered, when I was in senior high. She was earlier than even Luo Chen. Gong Su felt like lightning struck across his clear sky. Shit. Senior high. Weren't you still a minor? Then, he bitterly and achingly turned to Yi Wanwan and looked at her like she was an unfaithful traitor. Brother Yi, how could you do that? Yi Wanwan exasperatedly said, Enough, stop fooling around. Although Yenran started following me earlier, she debuted later. She's still a little junior sister, so you need to act more like a senior brother. Gong Su felt like his shattered heart was crumbling into powder. Brother Yi has a new lover, I'm going to lose Brother Ye's favor. Fei Yong glanced at Gong Su with raised brows and leaned close to Han Xinyu to quietly roast. Xinyu, say, what's up with Gong Su's strange reaction? Shouldn't he be happy about the new arrival of such a pretty little junior sister? Why does he look at her like she's a love rival? If I didn't know better, I would have thought he had a romantic thing going on with Yi Bai. Han Xinyu turned to look at Fei Yong with furrowed brows. Brother Yang, don't be absurd. When Fei Yong met Han Xinyu's eyes, he started. I was just joking around. Why does Xinyu look so serious? Detecting Han Xinyu's displeasure, Fei Yong chuckled and said, just kidding, just kidding. Why do I feel like Gong Su wasn't the only one who reacted strangely? Fei Yong brushed away the torrent of thoughts in his mind. Oh, right, let's head to the celebration banquet. We won't leave until we're drunk tonight. I've already reserved a room. From the front passenger seat, Yi Mufan glanced dryly at Fei Yong. What did you just say? Fei Yong was perplexed. Let's go to the celebration banquet? What about it? Not this sentence. Not this sentence? We won't leave until we're drunk? Fei Yong was briefly startled before he promptly reacted. Except for Director Yi. Han Xinyu chuckled. I already told the waiter to prepare juice. Yi Wanwan, am I really that frightening? Now that Yi Wanwan was finally free, she quickly sent a Si Yihan a message to report the good news and specifically added, Don't worry, I won't drink no matter how happy I am. It wasn't like she could drink even if she wanted to anyway. They were keeping a very close watch on her. Wait. Hold on. Inside the car, Gong Su suddenly shouted, I won Best Actor? Did I win Best Actor? Fei Yong looked darkly at his unhinged appearance. How the heck did you win Best Actor with that intellect of yours? Go away. What use is intellect? Can I eat it? Brother Yi said I just need to look pretty. Gong Su ignored Fei Yong and turned to look at Yi Wanwan, his eyes blazing up like a roaring flame. Brother Yi, I won Best Actor. Best Actor. Yi Wanwan feigned ignorance. And? Gong Su turned fretful. Brother Yi, are you going back on your word? My candied plum. Where's my little candied plum? Hurry. Hurry and call her. Yi Wanwan nonchalantly said, What are you so anxious about? I'll definitely let you see her tonight. I'll see her tonight? I'll be able to see little candied plum tonight. Gong Su felt like he was dreaming. He instantly tossed aside his thoughts about little junior sister and large grassland to the back of his mind. Right, there's a more important matter. Chapter 1173. 1173. What about female clothes? Brother Yi, you promised me. If I won Best Actor, you'd not only let me see little candied plum, but you said you'd also wear female clothes. Fei Yong clucked his tongue. Director Yi, you aren't really wearing them, right? Yi Bai in female clothes? I quite look forward to it. Yi Bai's androgynous and outrageously good looks. If he was a woman, he'd definitely be a super gorgeous beauty, right? However, what man is willing to dress as a woman? Without waiting for Yi Wanwan to answer, Yi Mufan already blurted out with a dark expression, I forbid it. Gong Su had been on bad terms with Yi Mufan for a long time, so he instantly turned angry. Why? Brother Yi promised me. Who are you to Brother Yi? What right do you have to forbid it? Yi Mufan was nearly angered to death. I'm his fucking brother. Enough, stop arguing. Yi Wanwan glanced at them and calmly said, I did promise him. Gong Su cheered and fluttered over like a butterfly. Ah, Brother Yi, I love you to death. Marry me. No thanks, I'm not interested. Then I'll be married to you. Yi Wanwan, where's your integrity? Yi Mufan wanted to beat that punk up in his rage. He was about to say something when a phone rang. It was Fei Yang's phone. The person on the other end said something, causing Fei Yang's brows to raise. He revealed a mocking smile and courteously said, Thank you. Thank you for the president's invitation. It's just, I'm not sure if we have time to go. Let me ask our boss first." After Fei Yang hung up, Yi Mufan looked at him with a frown. "Who called?" Fei Yang smiled. "Old Shen." Yi Mufan asked, "The president of the Film Association, Qin Yanfeng?" Fei Yang nodded. "That's right. You didn't answer his call?" Yi Mufan rolled his eyes. "Because my phone is flooded with calls." Ever since the award ceremony finished, his phone hadn't stopped ringing. Fei Yang coughed. "Ahem, oh right. Why did Qin Yanfeng call?" Yi Mufan asked. "Old Shen called to personally invite us to attend the Golden Orchid Awards banquet." Yi Mufan snorted. "Banquets invite people last minute?" Fei Yang shrugged. Evidently, either Emperor Sky Entertainment or Worldwide Entertainment, perhaps even both of them, gave them instructions, so the banquet intentionally excluded our company. And now, well, Yi Mufan naturally knew. He had experienced too much of human nature's fickleness these past few years. It was clearly a banquet that invited all of the guests but intentionally excluded their company. He previously foolishly asked them and ended up being ridiculed by a minor employee. Now that their company monopolized both Best Actor and Best Actress, how could the organizers dare to not invite them? Hence, the organizers contacted them in haste. Otherwise, what kind of Golden Orchid Awards banquet would it be without the Best Actor and Best Actress present? Fei Yang looked at Yi Mufan and asked, "So, boss, should we go or not?" Yi Mufan's face was solemn as he looked at Yi Wanwan disapprovingly. "Should we go?" When Fei Yang saw this, his brows raised. Was it his imagination? It was Yi Mufan who was clearly the biggest boss, but he asked Yi by each time there was an important problem. Strictly speaking, he was seeking permission from Yi Bai with a particularly kiss-up attitude. Chapter 1174. Yi Wanwan said, "Go." Why wouldn't we go? They needed to use this opportunity to rebuild their connections as quickly as possible. There was no need to be on bad terms with the Film Association. Yi Mufan nodded without hesitation. "Okay, Dong Zai, turn around. We're going to the banquet." The car slowly turned around, and Yi Wanwan added, "Go slower. Safety is most important." They did have to go, but they should still put on the proper airs required. Gong Su turned anxious as soon as he heard that they were going to the banquet. Go to what banquet? Who knows how late it will finish? When will I finally see little Candied Plum? How about this? You can all go, but Brother Yi will help me ask little Candied Plum out so I can go see little Candied Plum. No. Why not? Because I don't know how to be in two places at once. Fei Yang broke into loud laughter and teased, "Why else? Of course Brother Yi doesn't feel safe about letting you see his sister by yourself. What's the difference between that and a sheep entering a tiger's den? You're too delusional." Nonsense. Am I someone like that? You 100% are, alright? Unless you turn gay. You're gay. Your whole family is gay. This young master is the straightest person in the world. Gong Su loudly protested for the entire journey but had no choice to unwillingly follow the group to the banquet's venue. As soon as they arrived at the entrance, they saw two staff members from the organizers standing there, anxiously looking around. "What should we do? What should we do? Are they here yet?" One of them incessantly urged. "They aren't." The other person was also drenched in sweat since there was a whole hall of people waiting. "Have you called them yet? Are you sure they're coming?" The president said he called already. Please come. If they didn't, that'd be so embarrassing. Everyone is waiting inside. What a joke would it be if the best actors and best actress didn't show up? The other person instantly complained, "You have no one but yourself to blame. Why didn't you treat them more politely back then?" "Damn, how's it my fault? I was just listening to orders." While the two people argued, a black minibus slowly parked near them. Their eyes brightened immediately and they sprinted forward to receive them. "Ah, you're all finally here. Excuse us for not going out to meet you, please generously pardon us. Please enter quickly. Yi Mufan was the first to exit the van. He fixed his lapels and pretended to be hesitant. But we don't have invitations. Can we enter? Embarrassment overcame the staff members' faces. Of course you can enter. Why would your group need invitations? Just show your face. Showing your face is enough. Right. Showing your face is enough. A cold glint flitted through Yi Mufan's eyes, but he knew when to stop. He opened the van's back door. Luo Chen stepped out of the van, and then it was Gong Su who was dragged out by Fei Yang. After Han Xinyu got out, he didn't leave immediately. He placed his hand below the roof of the van and guided Yi Wanwan as she got out. Then, Yi Wanwan helped Jiang Yanran out of the van. When Fei Yang caught Han Xinyu's considerate actions, he was briefly startled. He even especially helped them protect their head? Did he have to be so gentle? With every person that got out of the van, the staff members' eyes grew brighter. They didn't even blink. In a short amount of time, the tag, Heavenly Group of Breathtaking Beauties, had become one of the hottest searches on the internet. The impact was even greater when the staff members saw them in such close proximity. Meanwhile, inside the banquet hall, the senior management members of the organizer all didn't look so good as they glanced at the hall entrance frequently. Why haven't they arrived yet? You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.